you've reached the space station, you're in orbit, you don't need any more energy, but 3 trillion foot-pounds, you know, how do you put that in perspective? Well, suppose you had to put out 3 trillion foot-pounds. And I don't know if you all remember Ben-Hur. Anybody see the movie Ben-Hur? You remember that? Well, yes, Mr. Ben-Hur is a condemned man, and he gets to stay alive as long as he rows well. So, today, no, you're not going to be a slave, you're going to be exercising. Okay, much better. Now, how much exercise do you think we can get for the 3 trillion foot-pounds? We already have the answer. You don't have to go to the lab. Doug Malowitsky of the Human Powered Vehicle Association has already done the calculations. An average human can put out 1/10 horsepower for 8 hours. And we can put you to work on a treadmill or whatever you like. And that's how much we're gonna get out of it. Now, running the math, for 1 year, 2,000 hours, we can get 396 million foot-pounds out of it. And I'm sure you guys can run the math. We won't go through each line item. And so, if you're gonna go to orbit with human power, you're gonna need 7,324 people pedaling 1 year. And that will get 7 people into space. Now, let's go back to how much gas should cost. Again, running the calculations, one person operating on a treadmill for 1 year will not fill a 5-gallon can of gas. So, how much is that gonna be? We cut right to the answer. If we need you guys to do it, it's gonna cost $4,400 a gallon, and that's you getting paid minimum wage. And yes, that was kind of a mess with units. I think the moral of the story is maybe we have cleaner energy units. Now the riddle. Okay, this is just a fun exercise. I work at the Kennedy Space Center. I worked in design, I worked in construction, I worked to support operations, and we have an interesting idea right along with Dr. Yu here. What is it that you guys have that is virtually identical? Every one of you has the same thing. Every one of you has the same thing. Virtually identical, and yet unique. Every one of you has the same thing, but it's different. Hey, very good. Very good. All right, so here's the story. We have time for a short story. Okay. One of the folks I had the honor to work with. We had a problem with the crawler transporter, and it was a little too noisy. Safety got all over us. I mean, it's a big machine. Got a couple of 3,000 horsepower diesels on board. And Noise Solutions from Canada came down and they said, we can solve your problem. And they did, but the story, and this is a story, I was not there to see this. They worked on much bigger stuff. That to them, 3,000 horsepower is nothing. They're working on power plants, heavy mining equipment, stuff like that. And the story goes that here's a guy, much worse problem than we've got with noise, hires him and he says, go work on that, show me what you can do. They said, okay, sir, we're ready. Comes over, and he says, all right, fire the unit up and let's see what you did. And they said, sir, it is running. So anyway, that gentleman retired, and he became a consultant. And one of the things that he pitched, right, with Dr. Yu, is you all, every one of you folks in here,
Just in time.
you all have unlimited access to new ideas. Unlimited access. And guess what? The chances are those ideas are going to be different than the person sitting next to you. That's right. It's very rare for two people coming up with the same idea at the same time. But yes, you have access, you have a mind, you can think. And gee, this is just a starting point. Our little hour here is just a starting point, and we're handing over the ball to you guys. And maybe you can start with a better unit for energy.